So I would like to say hello. This is Chandra Purdue coming to you with Unfiltered with Cara Jones Unlimited LLC podcast. We are interviewing tonight comedian Marvin Dixon, the real Marvin Dixon, who I had the pleasure of seeing at the Stardome Comedy Club in Birmingham, Alabama, just a couple of months ago. I believe it was February you were here.
Right, correct. February.
And you wore me out.
That's good.
I laughed so hard that night.
If I wasn't funny, you wouldn't want to interview.
Absolutely, absolutely. Turn up your volume just a little for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see.
You hear me good?
A little better, a little more.
Cool. All right. It should be. That's it. That's how it go. Can you hear me?
Let me turn mine up then. Okay, say something.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so let me do this. I'm gonna put on my headset because you cracking me up. Hold on a minute, okay? I gotta put on my headset. Oh, let me see which one. I'm gonna use this one. I got a new one. So, how's the weather there in Miami?
I'm not in Miami.
Where are you at?
I'm in Georgia, the state of Georgia.
Did you move?
And the weather. I'm everywhere. As long as I'm by myself quarantining.
Did you move?
Black people always.
Wait a minute. Did you move to Georgia?
When I say black people always know where you at. I'm quarantining.
Okay.
I am in Georgia right now, though.
I'm not going to let you do this to me tonight. You're not going to worry me with this. See, I thought you was in Miami, so, I posted up there on my little post today, we're going to be in Miami. But, if you just 3 hours away in Georgia,
Well, you should have drove it in.
No, we quarantined.
And you still can quarantine. Trust me.
We are staying in place. That means at home. We are at place, place at home.
Have you seen the young black adults don't listen to those directions? Everywhere you go, it's a pack of black people hanging out. No, you know what? Young adults, I'm going to take that back. Slash the black, because it's white. White people, they run the beach. Black people run the neighborhood.
Well, that's interesting that you would bring that up because, you know me, I try to get my 5-mile walk in, and we can exercise. And I must say, I have seen most recently packs of people, as you say. Me, I go solo, but I believe it was yesterday, in fact, I saw packs of people.
Yeah.
That ain't no quarantine.
I went by a gas station last week. I seen with his car, he had his trunk popped open, the doors open, blasting music. I swear he had about 200 people around.
Was he a DJ? Was he doing a parking lot concert? Was it what they call it? Was it a tailgate?
No, he just was parked out in the field and was over 200 people around him, drinking and just enjoying themselves.
Out in a remote field, like in the country?
No, not in the country. It's a parking lot, and next to the parking lot was an empty field, and they was parked in the empty field, about 200 people around a car with a lot of music.
And this was in the state of Georgia?
Yes.
Well, y'all's restrictions are a little more loose than the rest of us around the country.
Well, you say y'all like I made it. I didn't set that in place. The governor
I said Georgia.
But why people keep saying just Atlanta or Georgia only, whereas Texas is doing the same thing, Tennessee is doing the same thing, South Carolina was doing the same. All those states did the same thing at the exact same time. Did you realize that? Now you want to look like me, huh? Put your glasses on, look like me.
Again, sir.
Yes.
I said Georgia.
Okay, but why you ain't say Tennessee?
Because I said Georgia.
Why you say South Carolina?
Okay, so let's get this straight. We're gonna see. We're gonna all see with our 4 eyes on this conversation.
Uh-huh.
since we in such close proximity, you and I, 3 hours apart from Birmingham, Alabama to Georgia. When I turn on the local news,
right.
Comedian Marvin Dixon,
yes,
what I see per my local news most frequently and regularly when they go to the adjacent state is Georgia's news. And so therefore, the lists on the quarantine that have been implemented by your dear governor have been in my ear for many days now. That's why I said Georgia.
Well, look at other networks, CNN, MSNBC. There are more states that has an more, I'm gonna say, flexible quarantine policy, put it like that, where they open barbershops and restaurants. So there have been more states that done it, and they did it at the same time. They picked Georgia because Georgia has the predominantly more blacks than the other states. You know.
Why do you say that? Why did you have to go pull the race card? What is that all about?
Well, I didn't pull the race card. That's what they did. They always say the governor of Georgia, and then they say Atlanta. The governor of Georgia, Atlanta. They didn't say the governor of Georgia, and they didn't say Macon. They didn't say Savannah. They always say Atlanta and the state of Georgia. Atlanta, the state of Georgia. That's how they implement it. They always got who mayors on television all the time? Keisha Lance Bottoms, Atlanta City Mayor. They didn't go to the other mayors and talk to them. The other mayor's not on CNN, on Fox, on MSNBC, just Atlanta. So
but you understand that's because Atlanta is the biggest metropolitan area in your state.
Yes, but as I said, Texas did the same thing. So did Tennessee. So did South Carolina. So all those states did the same thing at the same time, but they're just saying Georgia only. Because Atlanta is the most predominantly black city, and they have the black mayor.
Houston, Texas has an African-American mayor.
Yes, but they don't have more blacks than Atlanta, Georgia. They know what they do.
I rest my case. I understand the point that you are trying to get across, and I understand.
Cool.
So, how was your day otherwise?
Once I wake up, I'm great. Everything else is easy.
Okay.
As long as I got my health and my freedom, I'm good.
Okay. Well, you know, when we were over there at the Stardome, you did some things that took me way back. You know, I'm an old school girl. And, you know, so I like that old school music. And you did a show that really took me back to the 80s and 90s. Do you recall? Do you recall?
I like to reminisce. I like to reminisce. I like to take stuff back in the days and bring it back, because one thing about comedy is timeless and ageless. So I like to get everybody, young and old.
Yes, absolutely. And you got all of us that night, and I would say some of those baby boomers from the 40s and 50s, they jumped on in with us who were born in the 60s and 70s, and I was just out of my seat. We was just doing it, and Mama Linda was with us, and Mama Linda was swaying too. I was like, oh Lord! And then you came out there and did the moonwalk. Who was that? Comedian Charles Winston, I think, introduced you, and you come out there strutting with the moonwalk. I said, oh, I see how this gonna go.
And I love Stardome. A lot of people don't know this. That is the #1 ranked comedy club in the United States. A lot of people don't realize that. Even y'all in Alabama.
Really?
That is the #1 ranked comedy club in the United States. Trust me. Every comic in the world wants to do Vegas and the Stardome.
Really?
Yes, you really want to do.
I was not aware.
You say what now?
I wasn't aware of that. And, that was my first time ever going there.
Yes, that's the #1 ranked comedy club in the United States. Believe it or not.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, you know what? I am so blessed to have moved to Birmingham, and I hope to be able to get back there again.
Oh, you need to. I remember I always say that on stage. Support. What we have a problem doing, we always try to go by the names. They look for the big names, the big names, the big names. I always say sometimes the comics you never seen or never heard before be funnier than the ones that you do know or have seen on the regular. And I tell people that they get stuck all the time. They say the big names, and then when they go see the big name, they always say he or she wasn't that funny. And I always tell them, let me explain something to you all. They're not as funny as they used to be because they're not hungry no more.
Right.
They got plenty of money. They could chill, relax, and then give people a BS. Whereas people like myself, we hungry. We hungry. We walk in and we want to rip every time because big names, they can flop on stage. You can hear about them getting booed on stage. And you know what we'll do? Go pay and see them the next week somewhere else.
Right.
But if I get booed on stage, Stardom won't never bring me back.
Well, you did not get booed on stage. Matter of fact, we wanted you to come back out. You know how when the singers, music artists be performing and stuff like that? Yeah. And they be like, encore, encore. Honey, you was getting encore, encore. We wanted you to come back.
I know.
That's how good you was. We could have stayed for another hour with you.
Because every time I do a show, I have to perform like that's my last show because I got to work the following week, and I want that same club to bring me back. And with you all come and support and showing love, people don't know this, especially black people. I always say this. We would complain when something ain't good or when something ain't right. But when something goes good or it's great, we won't call the club back and ask for them to come back. Or we won't call the club back and say, when is he coming back again, he or she? Can I log on to find out when they coming back? We don't do that. But now, if we went up there and offended somebody that did something crazy, the first thing they'll do, don't bring him. I was so mad. Or I asked for a 10-piece. They gave me 9.5 wings. It'll find
a mess.
Yeah.
Well, everything was good that night. I mean, your show was great. The atmosphere was great. I like that setup over there that they have at the Stardome. It looks like a movie theater, like a cinema.
Yes.
That's what that reminded me of, like the arena, right? The food was good. The cocktail was good, and the ambience, the diversity in the room and the ambience was a great mix.
And remember,
so
that was a weeknight too. I came on weeknights.
It was like on a Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. I came.
It was packed.
I did Wednesday and Thursday night.
Yeah.
I tell people I do Wednesday and Thursday nights, and I tell people like that. One thing about if something is good, we'll come out any night of the week to come see it if it's good.
Absolutely.
And we just come there, and that's why I tell people I don't just talk for myself. I tell them to support anybody you see come there and give them the chance to prove that they're funny. Because you see the big names, you know the big names. We all know who the big names are. When they come, people go. It's hard to sell out a weeknight. Trust me, it is hard.
Well, you know what? When I rolled up to the Stardome that night, the parking lot was packed.
I know.
And I wasn't late. I was not late, okay? And so when I did make my way in and found my people, there was a line that wrapped around.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Oh, I hope I don't have to get in that line." Thank God, with that ticket I had, I got to go on up in there, okay? Because them people, it took them, I would say, it took about 20 to 30 minutes to get them people in there and let them sit down. You understand? That's how packed it was on a Thursday night for you.
Yeah.
And there wasn't nobody on the ticket with you. It was just you.
Right. I sold out Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. And I did 3 nights. I did Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and sold out all the nights. But it didn't just go by them coming. You know, I got to get on radio. I got to do flips. I got to set myself on fire. I got to do so much extra stuff to get people in the room just to get them in. Because when I'm on radio and stuff, I just go like, DJ asks me something, I just go buck wild about it and just have fun with it. So you got to really sell yourself. You selling yourself. You got to sell yourself to get them in there. And I was lucky to get y'all in there.
You know what? You just said something that I can really relate to and appreciate. I work with a lot of artists, okay, with my performing arts and entertainment company, Cara Jones Unlimited. And I try to tell artists, whether they're music artists, whether they are comedians, whether they are literary writers, authors, authoresses, whatever, you have to be able to promote yourself. If you can have a PR firm that works for you.
Yes.
But just like you said, you as the artist have got to know how to get on that horn and blow for you.
You got to, because you know you. You know your talent, you know your skill level, and a lot of brothers and sisters, they count on somebody to do that for them or be their mouthpiece or whatever. But when you get on that, that's why I never miss radio interviews. I never miss, if it's a television, if it's a morning show like Good Morning Birmingham or something, and they tell me to be at the at 6 in the morning, I'm there at 5:45.
Yeah.
I'm always there on time. I don't be late for nothing. I try to do, and then when I get on that stage, now once I got them in there, now I have to improve myself in front of them. Because people sit there with their arms folded to be looking like, oh, yeah, I know one thing, he better be funny.
What you gonna do?
So much pressure like that. Like a lot of brothers and sisters, y'all don't know, being a comedian, it be pressure. You got to make people you don't know, you never seen, laugh like they never laughed before. And you got to make, remember, a lot of people come in there with health problems, financial situations, relationship situations, or just all right angry about something. And they come in there with the attitude like, oh man, whatever, I ain't want to come anyway, you better make me laugh. And then when you make them laugh, I always say, I'm glad I was able to do one thing. At that very brief moment, that 45 minutes or to an hour and 15 hours on stage, for that brief moment, I made somebody laugh. That's all I said.
Absolutely.
I made them laugh.
Absolutely. And you know, it's really important, like you said, because if they're not laughing, I have not been to any shows, concerts, stage events, productions, performance, whatever, where I've seen anybody booed off the stage. I haven't seen that done in probably 20 years.
Going up.
But I'm from California, the San Francisco Bay Area, and I do remember 20 years ago, they would boo you. Or they would sit, as we say, they would sit on you and do nothing.
Do you know y'all have the largest, at the time, the largest black comedy competition in the nation? It was called
this?
Area Comedy Competition.
In the Bay Area?
Yes, it was the Bay Area. That was the biggest black comedy competition in the United States.
Yes, I remember a good friend of mine, actually my college classmate, he is DJ Oris Washington, Big O. Back in the day, we used to do, he would present comedy shows to the likes of, I've met Shang, Lunel, all of them would come because they were right around, you know, California, but they would come to Oakland and Berkeley, California, and he would present these stage shows, comedy shows.
Right.
And that Bay Area competition you're talking about, it came there all the time. It was there all the time.
Yeah, you do it once a year. It was at the, I cannot remember the name of the theater.
Me neither. I can't think of the venue.
I won it before, so I know. I won it. Yeah.
It wasn't at the Paramount, was it?
It was the Paramount. That's what the finals was at, the Paramount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the big theater, like the Fox in Atlanta.
Right. I won that. People don't know this. I won every black major comedy competition in the country. I'm the one comedian can say I won every major competition at the time. You know, for the last 10, 15 years, there have been others. But during the time I did, I entered every comedy competition. The Bay Area, the Slit Small Liquor. That shows you how old it is, the Slit Small Liquor comedy competition.
Slit Small Liquor. You went way back.
Canadian Miss, Zima, Coors Light. I won every one of them.
Ah, good for you.
I got to tell these jokes to pay these notes.
I know that's right. So let me ask you this, because we're at a good breaking point.
Yes.
And what I want to do, because, you know, when this interview is over, and I'm really enjoying it, thank you for accepting my invitation again. I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel, my Anchor podcast, and then it'll go to Spotify, Google Podcast, all these other platforms, okay? But I want to take a break at this 20-minute mark, if that's okay with you.
Let's do it.
And then what I'm going to do, let's go out of here, and we're going to go to my page and go live.
Okay, you better show me how to do this.
Okay, so what we're going to do, you're just going to end your live, okay?
Okay.
Just push your back button.
Okay.
And then come to my page. You'll see my little red circle around my picture swirling.
Okay.
Click on that. It'll say live. Click on that. And then it'll say request to join, and you click request to join.
Will do. I'm following you.
See you in a minute.
See you. See you.